Hey guys, so what we're going to do today is we are going to draw out a diagram to help us better understand the heart and how blood flows through it. So on a large piece of notebook paper, this should take up about the entire page. We're going to draw out this sketch. Okay. So first of all, we have the RA stands for the right atrium, the LA is the left atrium, the RV is the right ventricle, and the LV is the left ventricle. The reason why these appear to be flipped is I want you to picture the heart as if you were looking at somebody. Your right is actually their left. The far left box represents the lungs, and the far right box represents the body. So I want you guys to take a second to label this on your white piece of paper. You guys are, after we're done color coding it, going to actually upload a picture of it, so make sure that you understand it. First of all, we're going to color in our right atria blue. The reason why is that we're going to start by examining how non-oxygenated blood flows through the body. So the blood moves from the right atria to the right ventricle and then through the pulmonary artery. Your pulmonary system actually refers to anything that deals with the lungs. And so if you ever see that word in a disease or any type of thing, it's actually talking about some issue with the lungs. The reason why we go to our lungs is actually to get the oxygen from what we breathe in. So as we leave the lungs, now we're going to be color coding our diagram in red, having it return in through the vein. What you're going to see here is a good way to remember it is artery means away. So our arteries bring the blood away from the heart and our veins bring the blood back to the heart. As the blood enters into the left atria, it has the oxygen, we're pumping it through, goes to the left ventricle, and then out the aorta. Our aorta is the main artery that brings the oxygenated blood to our brain, muscles, and all of our other cells. But as it goes through our body, the cells are going to use that oxygen to create energy, and so it's going to return back to the heart deoxygenated. It comes back into the heart through the superior inferior vena cava. So when the blood enters in, there's a couple different valves or ways that the blood is going to travel through the heart. So in order for the blood to go from the right atria to the right ventricle, it's going to go through a tricuspid valve. Tri stands for three. So it's like a tricycle. It's got three little flaps that actually open and shut to have blood go through. Often if you have a murmur or you hear of someone who has a heart murmur, it's because their valves aren't working quite properly, and so a little bit of blood is kind of going in and out through it. Then to go from your right ventricle into your pulmonary artery, it's going to go through a pulmonary valve. On the opposite side, from the left atria to the left ventricle, we're going to have a bicuspid valve, and bi, like bicycle, means two. So the bicuspid valve is going to have two flaps that allow the blood to go from the left atria to the left ventricle. And then it's going to go through the heart out to the body through the aortic valve. A big thing, though, that comes with the heart is that we know it has to pump. And so we're going to take a second to learn a little bit about the electrical system of the heart. So I'm going to actually have our electrical system be color-coded in yellow. So a big part first is going to be our SA node. So your SA node is heart's natural pacemaker that actually generates the electrical impulses. And so it's going to generate that electricity and send it to the AV node. The reason why it's called the AV node is it's transferring the impulse from the atria to the ventricles. In order for that impulse, though, to move through the actual ventricles, that electricity is going to go through the bundle of His and through the AV bundle branches to transfer the impulse there. Next, these little lines are actually going to represent fibers, specifically the Purkinje fibers. Those fibers cause the heart to contract and those ventricles to contract at the exact same time.